In this video, we'll explore 19 of the world's greatest mysteries. Watch to the end and leave a comment to tell us which mystery we'd like to explore in more detail. 1. The Mystery of Flannan Isle. On December 15, 1900, a transatlantic steamship passing the Flannan Isles in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland noticed that the lighthouse was out. Following this report, a lighthouse support vessel was dispatched and arrived at the islands on Boxing Day, December 26th. No trace of the 3 lighthouse keepers was found. Compounding the mystery was the presence of half-eaten food in the living quarters, an overturned chair, and a set of waterproofs, suggesting that at least one of the keepers had ventured outside without a coat. The official investigation concluded that a storm had caused incredibly strong seas that had swept away the men as they attempted to forage near the cliff edge. This hasn't stopped the spread of wild speculation, blaming everything from ghost ships and giant sea monsters to murders committed due to the winter blues. 2. Skinwalker Ranch. While the location of the Curse of Skinwalker Ranch remains a mystery to the modern world, this famous American ranch has a spooky history dating back hundreds of years. Although this sprawling ranch, located in the Uinta Basin of northeastern Utah, was officially founded in the early 1930s, the land on which it was built is said to have been cursed since the 1800s. According to local legend, the Navajo Indian tribe placed a curse on the land, unleashing vicious werewolves known as skinwalkers to roam the territory of their sworn enemies, the Ute tribe. Reports of werewolf and UFO sightings continue to circulate at the ranch. 3. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. On February 1st, 1959, 9 seasoned Russian hikers pitched tents for the night in the Ural Mountains. At some point during the night, the hikers hacked their way out of their tents, found themselves in sub-zero temperatures without gear, and perished. An investigation revealed that 6 of the 9 died of hypothermia, while the remaining 3 suffered horrific injuries that can only be described as brutal and horrific. Following this event, numerous theories have been put forward, encompassing everything from UFOs to the CIA, from indigenous peoples to the Yeti. The official investigation concluded that an avalanche was the most likely cause, but the incident remains the subject of heated debate. 4. The Princes in the Tower. The disappearance of 2 young English princes has remained a mystery since they were last seen alive in the autumn of 1483. We are talking about Edward V and his younger brother, Richard, Duke of York. Although many believe they were murdered on the orders of their uncle, Richard III, this theory has never been conclusively proven. Other theories suggest they were murdered by either Henry VII, Henry Stafford, Duke of Buckingham, or Lady Margaret Beaufort. There is even speculation that they may have escaped from the Tower of London and lived to adulthood. The solution to this mystery may never be solved. 5. The Amber Room. The looting committed by the Nazis during World War II was on an industrial scale. It is estimated that the Third Reich stole approximately 600,000 works of art from across Europe. While some pieces were successfully recovered after the war, others remain missing, including the priceless collection of stunning amber panels known as the Amber Room. Built in 1701, the Amber Room was known as the 8th wonder of the world and was one of Russia's most valuable artifacts, perhaps the most valuable item ever looted by the Nazi regime. After the initial looting, the room was shipped to Germany and put on public display, but disappeared in the final months of the war, never to be seen again. Did it perish in the fire and destruction? Was it placed on a ship and then sunk to the ocean floor? Or was it hidden somewhere deep in a salt mine? The mystery remains unsolved. 6. D.B. Cooper. On November 24th, 1971, a man calling himself Dan Cooper boarded a plane in Portland, Oregon, bound for Seattle, Washington. He was wearing a black trench coat over a dark suit and bow tie, and he carried a black briefcase. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed one of the flight attendants a note stating that he had a bomb in his suitcase and wanted to make a number of demands, including $200,000 in negotiable American currency and 4 parachutes to be delivered to the plane upon landing. After his demands were met in Seattle, the plane took off again, bound for Mexico on Cooper's orders. During this flight, Cooper jumped out of the plane in the dark and was never seen again. This remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in American aviation history. 7. Newgrange. Near Dublin lies one of the greatest wonders of the prehistoric world, Newgrange. Built nearly a millennium before Stonehenge, this massive Neolithic corridor tomb it's been around for 5,000 years. Although the monument appears to have been built for one purpose, to mark the winter solstice, it remains shrouded in many mysteries. For example, experts are still unsure how the heavy stones of Newgrange were transported to the site. How long did its construction take, and how many people were involved? 8. Blackbeard's treasure. During his short reign during the golden age of piracy, the infamous pirate Blackbeard amassed a vast fortune. Aboard his fearsome ship, Blackbeard, aka Edward Teach, and his motley crew sailed the 7 seas, plundering everything in their path. In 1718, he finally got his comeuppance and was beheaded during a fight with British Lieutenant Robert Maynard. However, his vast treasure was never recovered. Since then, treasure hunters have searched everywhere, but so far to no avail. And if legend is to be believed, as Blackbeard once declared, nobody but me and the devil knows where the treasure is. 9. Spring-heeled Jack. Even before Jack the Ripper began terrorizing the streets of Victorian London, Spring-heeled Jack was the scourge of the local population. From his first attack in October 1937, when he tore the clothes off a woman returning home with claws described as cold and clammy, like a corpse's, the legend of Spring-heeled Jack grew rapidly. Stories about him grew ever more incredible. People claimed he could leap tall buildings in a single bound, and his eyes resembled flaming red wheels, and he could breathe blue flames. With the increasing frequency of attacks in London, Jack soon began to be spotted across the country. Although reports of his appearances became less frequent by the late 19th century, it appears the legend of Jack still lives on, with sightings as recently as 2012. 10. The Shroud of Turin. The infamous relic, known as the Shroud of Turin, has sparked heated debate among religious and scholarly circles for 600 years. This 4.4-meter-long piece of linen, dating to the 14th century, is believed to be the shroud in which Jesus Christ was wrapped after his death on the cross. A faint image of a man with long hair and a beard can be seen on the shroud. In addition to its visual similarity to what Jesus was believed to have looked like, the shroud also bears wound marks consistent with the biblical account of the crucifixion. Over the years, numerous scientific studies have failed to provide a definitive answer to the question of whether the Shroud of Turin is genuine or a spectacular forgery. Either way, it continues to be a part of religious history, generating interest and controversy. 11. The Lost Years of Jesus Christ. Thanks to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, we know much about the life of Jesus Christ. However, during his documented time on earth, there was a period when no one knows exactly where he was or what he did. These years became known as the lost years and have baffled scholars and Christians for centuries. Jesus' life from the ages of 12 to 30 remains unknown. It is, frankly, a biblical mystery, as there is no written evidence of where he might have been or where he might have traveled. These 18 years have left a void filled with theories, mostly based on religious beliefs, rumors, and folklore, but no one knows for sure. 12. Area 51. There are very few people on this planet who haven't heard of Area 51, the infamous secret base hidden in the Nevada desert, approximately 100 miles north of Las Vegas. Synonymous with aliens and UFOs, Area 51 was shrouded in secrecy for decades, with the public unaware of what went on at this government facility. Officially operated by the U.S. Air Force, Area 51 was only acknowledged by the U.S. government in 2013, further fueling the conspiracy theories. It's likely that the base is a testing and training facility specializing in the development of advanced aircraft, but rumors of aliens will undoubtedly continue. 13. Loch Ness Monster. The legend of Nessie began in 1933, when the Inverness Courier newspaper published an article about a local couple who, while driving past Loch Ness, noticed something very strange. A photograph soon appeared of a long-necked creature emerging from the lake. Since then, numerous eyewitness accounts over the decades have fueled the legend. Numerous studies of the lake have failed to find any concrete evidence of the creature's existence, and the iconic image of Nessie has been deemed a hoax. Nevertheless, the legend of Nessie lives on to this day. Thousands of visitors flock to Loch Ness every year, many hoping to see the famous monster. 14. Why did ancient Rome fall? The Roman civilization is one of the greatest the world has ever known. It existed for over 1,000 years, from the 8th century to the 1st century. From the 5th century CE to the end of the 5th century CE, the power of ancient Rome culminated in its vast empire. This empire was one of the largest in history, dominating vast swathes of Europe, especially the Mediterranean, and estimated to have numbered around 90 million people. The Romans are credited with a number of inventions that we continue to use in one form or another. So why did this powerful civilization collapse in 476 CE? There appears to be no single cause for the fall of Rome, and scholars have put forward a variety of theories, from political instability to the rise of Christianity. 15. Who was the Zodiac Killer? This is the largest unsolved crime in American history. The identity of the Zodiac Killer remains a mystery more than 50 years after his final crime. Operating in California in the late 1960s, the Zodiac Killer murdered 5 people between 1968 and 1969, although he claimed to have killed 37 in total. His notoriety grew when he began taunting the police with a series of letters he sent to newspapers. He ordered them published, along with several ciphers. The encrypted messages attracted considerable attention to the killer, and although most have now been deciphered, some remain unsolved. The Zodiac Killer disappeared as quickly as he appeared, leaving behind intriguing clues that may reveal his true identity. 16. Tomb of Genghis Khan. The Mongol Empire of the 13th and 14th centuries was the largest empire in history, and its existence owes entirely to one man, Genghis Khan. The Khan's armies spread like wildfire, capturing vast territories until his vast empire occupied half the Eurasian continent. Before his death in August 1227, Genghis Khan demanded that his burial site remain secret. According to legend, the 2,000 slaves who helped bury the emperor were killed to keep the burial site secret. Their executioners were then executed by an infantry squad, who ultimately committed suicide, but not before slaughtering everyone who saw them. The location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains a mystery. 17. Bog people. Over 1,000 remarkably well-preserved accidental mummies have been discovered in the peat bogs of northern Europe. The bodies of these people, known as bog people, mostly from the Iron Age, are naturally mummified thanks to the biochemical composition of the peat bogs. The remains of the bog people date back to 8000 BC, many of whom died horribly, long, and painful deaths. Were these human sacrifices, murders, or simply unfortunate souls who wandered too far into the bogs? 18. Why was Stonehenge built? World-famous Stonehenge is perhaps the most famous surviving prehistoric monument. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, located on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, is over 5,000 years old, with its construction beginning in the Neolithic era. Construction continued into the Bronze Age, over a period of over 1,500 years, as the monument changed and evolved, raising the question of its purpose. Several theories have been put forward, the most popular of which suggests that the monument is an ancient solar calendar that served as a physical representation of the year. However, others believe it was a burial site, a druidic temple, a healing site, and even an alien creation. 19. What happened to the true cross? The cross on which Jesus was crucified became known as the true cross. Helena Augusta, mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine, is believed to have discovered this cross in the 4th century AD. She gave it to a terminally ill woman who was instantly healed upon touching it. The cross was sent to Constantinople, but when the city was sacked in the 13th century, the true cross was broken and spread throughout Europe. Since then, churches and abbeys across the continent claim to hold a piece of the famous cross. Today, some fragments survive in religious institutions, such as St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, but many have been lost over time.